Okay, well, I sort of walked out of here with everything under relative control. You know, a lot of arguing over sort of with a fist. Well, we're paying you badly because you're doing a really rubbish job. And so it was all very nice and very cordial. So he's gone out. Devlin's come back, and oh my god, all hell has broken loose.
Yes, so after escorting that Harper agent that you and your friend just freed from the clutches of the dragon cult, you, Devlin, basically walked him out and made sure that no one is following you. It was basically your top priority to make sure this guy is alive. Just before sending him off, you asked him where you can catch up with him, and he told you that you can visit Knock Alley in Baldur's Gate, and from there his men will see that you two are, meet. So he thanks you, he shakes your hand, and then he flees. At this point, you hear a rumble and a ruckus from the chamber you have just left. You hear explosions and shoutings and magical spells being hurled. You turn back and you witness as basically a priest surrounded by spirit guardians who look angelic in form, at least to you, is about to attack Thokk and Tal, which they basically are close together trying to, at least Tal was retreating, trying to avoid the spirit guardians, but Thokk is still there. And Roscoe is on the floor bleeding, and you can also see a half dragon lying beneath or not beneath, but next to a toppled dragon statue. And a lot of people are, people you don't recognize. They are sprawled on the floor. Some of them are charred. Some of them are like hacked into pieces. Obviously, a fierce one happened here just before you left. So, Thokk, Exar is approaching you, and again, I need you to make a saving throw against his spirit guardians. Let me just return to that spell description. Yeah. So here it is. You make a wisdom saving throw. Sorry, it took me so long. So with a 12, so these angelic forms, they dance around you and then turn fiendish in nature, and they try to sink their teeth and claws into your body. You will take necrotic damage, and since you failed your save, you will take, that's an 8, 5, 13, and then plus 2, which is 15 points of damage.
Okay, well, I've got 12 less, so that puts me down, but I will use my Relentless Endurance,
Okay.
which I get once per long rest, and I am at 1 hit point.
Okay. So Exar sees that as you kind of fall into, on your knee, and then you kind of grit your teeth and get up again, and he tries to maul you with his glowing maul. He attacked twice. So the first roll is a 14, and the second is 11.
Okay, my AC is 16, so those are both misses.
Okay, so you hear the maul kind of whistle above you, and on your side as you dodge it, and he says, the priest says, "Prepare to die, demon." That was Xr's attack. Roscoe, you are, if I remember correctly, with 2 successes and 1 failure.
That is correct.
Okay. So.
My turn to make a death save?
Exactly.
Yay. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Ooh, 3 successes.
3 successes. You are stable.
And there was much rejoicing.
Devlin, you entered the room. Now, if you look at Roll20, you can see that the room you are entering is basically dominated by this platform in the middle of it. The dragon statue that is now toppled was on top of it. And just north to that platform, there is an open hallway that goes dark as you look into it. You don't see what's behind it, and Xr and Thokk are basically close to that area on the corner. Maybe here.
Okay.
Okay. What do you do? So
the priest guy he's fighting against is essentially the only other person.
Yep.
The threat.
As far as you can see, yes.
Okay. I'll sort of look around for a moment and go, wow, this is really intense. There's a dragon. Wow. Yeah, oh, he doesn't look well. Oh, sorry. And I'll cast Witch Bolt at the priest guy.
Okay.
And if I need to, I'll use one of my luck to make sure I actually hit the person.
You'll use what? Sorry.
He's got the feat lucky, which allows him to re-roll dice.
Yeah, got it. So you need to re-roll. As your witch bolt flies, you can see that it's off course. You kind of concentrate. But the second one is even lower, so it explodes on the wall and showers both Tal, Thokk, and Xr with some debris from the wall.
Right.
Anything else you want to do?
I will. Which people can I can't physically do anything to help them, can I? As in, revive them because I've used my action.
Nope, you can't. But you can definitely move if you want to take cover, or I don't know. So you can see.
I'll move to.
As I said to the guys, we don't kind of count squares, but you can basically tell me where you're going. Okay, so you
round about there, but as long as I can still see the priest.
Yes, got it. So you kind of use the platform as half cover or something like that, and blast the priest from there. Okay.
Yeah.
Thokk, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the priest and say, "You want demons? You get demons." And I'm gonna pull a scroll out of my pouch, and summon a demon.
Oh, awesome!
With my scroll of phantasmal force.
Okay.
So that would be a intelligence save for him.
Okay. What is the DC? Oh, he failed. Never mind. And then what happens? What does the spell do?
Well, no, to everybody else in the room, nothing happens. But he sees a large demon erupt in a cloud of fire and brimstone next to him, and reach out and claw at him.
Okay.
And takes 6 psychic damage.
This is awesome.
And while he's distracted, I'm going to get out of the range of his little circle of demonic things and hide behind the platform.
Okay. Awesome.
As you sort of move backwards, I'll wave and say, Hello. You've been having fun here, haven't you? This is quite intense.
Which brings us to Tal's turn. I see in Roll20 that he's here. Are you here? Tal? In spirit, but not in body?
I guess Tal remembers going down at the end of the last turn.
No, I think... Okay, maybe. Not sure.
Well, he just threw in a death save.
Oh, I see. Okay, maybe, but I'm not sure. So, Tal, I kind of listened to the last moments of the last episode. If you remember you are down, that's fine. I didn't hear it, but... so I'll roll with what you remember. Maybe I didn't listen to the entire thing. So, but that's a first success. So, great. At this point, Thokk and Devlin, since you two are... Oh, so basically the both of you retreated to behind the platform, right? Leaving Exar to deal with his demon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you do see, since you are kind of looking at the direction of the priest, you do see the wizard who fled into the tunnel or into the hallway just to the north. He emerges out again holding a scroll of his own and runs to the opening and then shrieks the words of a spell. Suddenly the air around you becomes frigid and lumps of ice start to form above you and kind of swirl around the room. I need you all present, Exar included, to make dexterity saving throws. And Thokk, you and Devlin, you can easily recognize this spell. It is an ice storm.
Well, I think I make the save, not that it'll do me any good.
Okay.
I don't think I have with a 10.
A 10.
I'm not rolling well at the moment.
A 10 doesn't save you. Okay. Roscoe. Oh, Roscoe is down. So, and Tal is down. Okay, got it. So, Thokk, you do make the save. You kind of dodge and throw yourself to the floor, trying to avoid those lumps of ice that float around. Let me just roll the damage.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to take more than 1 point of damage, so...
Oh, yeah. But I still need to roll it for Devlin. Devlin, it doesn't look very good. You take 37 points of damage from...
Wow, I'm down.
From this spell. And as you two go down, all you can hear is Exar's shrieks as both ice and fire, at least imagined fire, are hurled against his body. But you are like, if it's any how do you say it? Consolation, yeah, exactly. You are pretty sure these are his death shrieks as well. And then
Can I make a re-roll on the save with my lucky? I've got 3 lucky chances and I've used 1 up so far.
Yes, of course.
So I'm going to attempt to do that because that's going to take me down if I don't.
Okay.
Bloody hell. And again?
So, yeah, so everything turns dark for you as well. Strangely enough, Okay, let me just. So, as everything fades to black, you are surrounded by nothing, and then you wake up. So let me know when you see what I see in Roll20.
Looks like a swamp.
I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just restarting.
Okay.
If you've got a white screen, try scrolling up.
Okay.
And you'll see the swamp image that the rest of us have, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
Great. So you wake up with your bodies kind of numb, and you are rocking and rolling on a wooden cart. You're basically like thrown on one on top of the other, sprawled, looking up and seeing this desolate mist-like swamp area. When you lift your heads, all you can see is an emaciated figure wrapped in rags. You can only see its like bone-like hand, pulling the cart through the mud and decay that is all around you. The visibility is very limited. You can only see like 100 feet radius, nothing more than that. The place is dead silent. All you can hear is the footsteps of that figure as it plods through the mud. And
is he pulling the cart? Did
Yes.
you say we were on a cart?
yeah, it's like an open cart. I hope a cart is the correct name. It's like, two wheels,
Okay.
a platform of wood, and you are on top of it. There are no horses, simply this thing, which you cannot see wholly, pulling the cart.
What kind of condition are we in? I mean, are we at like, where are we, like 1 hit point each, no gear, no weapons, what?
You are not sure. Like mechanically, all you can, like physically, you can breathe. You feel like yourselves, but it's very strange. It's a very strange feeling. You haven't experienced anything special other than blackness and then waking up like this.
Is this actually reality, or is this a dream? Can we work that out?
What do you do to work that out?
I'm looking for clues to tell me that this is not real. So,
if you want, you can make an intelligence check. And let me know how did you go. How did it do?
okay.
Can I see that other people are awake?
Yes, you are basically awake as one. You can see that Thokk is kind of moaning just next to you, and Tal's huge body is kind of moving beneath you, with Devlin lifting his head and looking around.
I got 14.
Okay. So with a 14, you can definitely smell the decay around you, and the fact that you can't see anything, that the mist is covering everything, is kind of strange. Also, that deep silence that kind of blankets this whole place is unsettling. But you don't find any specific clues that it is not real. At least to you, it feels real.
Are any of the others awake? Are they with me?
Yes.
Okay. Am I bound or restrained in any way, shape, or form? And am I wearing my armor?
You are wearing your armor and you are not bound or restrained. If you look further, you can see that all of your equipment is, at least everything you had on you when you died, is still on you.
And
I'm sorry, did you say we are bound or we're not?
No.
You cut out for a
No,
second.
you are not bound. But
Not bound. Okay.
and all the equipment that you died with basically is still on you.
I'm gonna send a telepathic message to, I guess, normally I'd send it to Tal, I think, but Tal can't talk right now, so I'll send it to to Thokk. And where are we? Why are we still alive? Are we still alive? Should we talk to this guy? I want to talk to this guy.
is this
You're
a
welcome
two-way
to try.
Is this two-way communication? I can't remember.
No, it's just Roscoe saying that to Thokk.
Right.
I
I'll
don't-
just
actually, I'm-
shrug, to be honest, because he doesn't know, but he also doesn't want to say anything in case our friend at the front gets word that we're awake. Prefer to keep the surprise for him.
Okay, I'm just gonna shrug and take an assessment of my physical condition, see how racked up I still am, I guess.
So all you remember is all of you remember if you were up when the ice storm hit. You do remember a freezing cold, shards of ice, sharp as knives, kind of hurled at you, and then nothingness. And if you went down beforehand, all you remember is nothingness as well, and then waking up here.
Hey, you!
The cart stops.
I'm
Hi,
Roscoe.
there.
Am I dead or am I alive?
Dead, alive, before, after, no one really knows. After life, before death, before life or after death, everything loses meaning in this place. And then the figure turns around and you can see a very old woman, an old woman wrapped in rags, looking at the four of you.
What's this space?
This?
By the way, as soon as he said that, I've just literally gone down, eyes closed. I'm trying to make it look like I'm still out.
Okay. She, the old woman looks at you, Roscoe, and she says, "This is the beer of that man." And then she winks at you. Get it?
No. But I was supposed to come here, so thanks. Did you drag me all the way from Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate. Haven't seen that place in ages. No, I just found you on a crate. You seem to be dreaming, speaking in your sleep. You said something about your family behind the portal, and I decided to take you. You seem to be missing them. I know a thing or two about missing someone. And then she starts to pull the wagon, the cart again. What about your friends? Are they okay?
Okay, while they're talking, I'm going to reach over and pull out my Yartling and start playing my Song of Rest.
Okay. The sound of music is bouncing off the silence as if you are in a perfectly like audio treated auditorium. It's like an amazing acoustic environment, and the sound of her feet plodding through the mud kind of mix strangely with your song. She then say, Anna used to love music. She had a small flute she made herself from bamboo. She used to play music with it. Yes, I remember what it is to miss someone.
What's your name, and who did you miss, and why did they go away?
Oh, I know. I am known by many names, but the name I like most is Nanny Popu. This is how Anna used to call me. She was an angel. Her mother was an adventurer. She wanted to slay a dragon, a black dragon hiding in the mere. She gave me Anna to keep her safe. The adventurer never came back, and so I simply took care of her. She was 4 when the fever took her. And then she kind of points, and you all see from the mist a small hut, like a crumbling structure made of wet wood and like straw. And just next to it there is a small, like relatively dry land, elevated from the rest of the swampy environment, and on it, or just in the middle of it, there is a small hump of earth and a tombstone. And then she says, the fever took her, and I miss her ever since. She brought life and laughter and color to this place.
That's sad. I lost my whole family and my whole town.
And she says, yes, you were speaking about an eye in the sky and a gap to pass, that your family will wait for you behind it. I know of a place similar to what you talk of. I thought to myself that I will take you. I will take you there. Maybe.
That's so nice. Can I do like an insight check to see if I believe that she has like good intentions toward us?
Yep, make an insight check.
19.
You feel some sincerity. She will, at least the sorrow in her voice is real. But you feel like there are undercurrents there that you haven't like figured out yet. This whole place kind of feels dangerous to you.
I will yeah, I think I'll telepathically communicate that to Thokk, that she seems, she might be helpful, but this lady is very dangerous.
What are our hands bound with?
Your hands are not bound, but since you are mentioning your hands a lot, you do see that they are kind of stained. There is like patches of blackness on them. It looks like you've been covered with mud that dried out, but when you kind of rub your hand against your pants or something like that, it doesn't come off. It's like an ink stain or something like that. You each have one.
Okay. going to sort of lay there for now, just listening to the conversation.
She says, "What is that tune you just played? It's sweet music."
It just helps me relax. Any chance to squeeze in a short rest while this is going on?
Yes. And why have you came here?
I was going to ask you almost the same question. You said you found us on a crate. Where was the crate? Was anybody else around the crate? Was there anything on the crate? In the crate?
She says, "There are always shadows in here. I thought one of those shadows placed you." And then she kind of points, and I'm not sure if you can see. I'm circling it right now. Do you see a face?
I see a ping, but not a face.
So just in the middle of the ping, do you see a face? A beak?
Sort of.
A little bit. I'm zooming it in.
So your eyes kind of adjust to the misty environment, and you can see like
Looks kind of like a horse's head.
maybe something is there, and then it vanishes. And she says, "These are the Black Tongue clan. They sometimes bring people they kidnap, and they devour them in a gruesome ritual, respecting their decaying gods. I thought, since you," and then she looks at you, Roscoe, "are obviously in pain, are obviously missing a part of you, like I am missing a part of me. I couldn't resist it. I decided to take you, and maybe easing your pain will somehow ease my own."
That's so nice. I like you. My name is Roscoe, by the way.
When we get to my hut, I will give that other friend of yours some of my salts to smell, if he's still doesn't feeling very well. I know that elves and other fey creatures are sometimes weakened by the mere. It is a dreary place, I know, but it is home. And then she stops the cart just in front of her, basically, porch. And she turns around and kind of hands her hand to anyone who wants some help getting off the cart.
Sure, I'll jump off. Quick, just sort of mechanically. So if we've had a short rest, are we starting at 1 hit point and then adding our hit dice to that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks.
And with the Song of Rest, everybody gets an extra 3 hit points on top of any hit dice they use.
Okay.
Great. So, just besides that small grave and the kind of slanted tombstone, all you can see is a wooden deck that maybe once was pretty, but now it's basically rotted and like it's almost part of the mud. You can see a small rug that is half sunk into the mud, and she kind of climbs it, rubs her feet, which are bare, against it, and then she opens a door that is unlocked, and just stands there inviting you all to its small and dark hut. It's a straw roof, and the vegetation above is basically crawled to cover the hut, and so it's almost like part of the landscape. And then she says, "I will light a fire for you. We can rest."
Can Roscoe, instead of going into the hut, kind of sneak off to the side a little bit, like as if he's going to pee somewhere?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And I would like to, if I could, do I still have because when I was captured, I had the blue stone that I can use to communicate with Lenathan.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think you left it with Renil, or better say with...
Yeah, it was left with the folks in the underground garden.
Oh,
as
right.
A guarantee of our return.
Yes, that's what I remembered as well.
Okay, so never mind.
I just want to... It was Thokk that cast the spell where we get an extra 3 hit points. Is that per dice, or...?
No, that's just to whatever you get for your hit dice, you get an extra 3.
Right, okay. So, to make sure I've got that right.
Okay. So, Roscoe, anything else you wanted to do?
Since I don't have the stone, I think I'll take... I feel like I need to let somebody know where we are because I don't really feel safe with this person. So I'll take out the coin that the Captain Durana gave us to communicate with her.
Yes.
And I will just... I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, I'll take it out and rub it and shake it, hold it to my ear, hold it to my nose, put it in my ear, put it in my mouth, and then just kind of speak to it and say, you know, we are in the Mirror of Dead Men. I don't know where we are. Nana Poo-Poo. We're at Nana Poo-Poo's house. And I'm scared.
So as you do that, kind of rub the coin and talk to it and wet it. A puddle of mud just next to your feet kind of boils, and then a bottle, corked, kind of floats on top of it, and the bottle is transparent. You can see a small scroll wrapped inside of it, and a feather, like a writing tool.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I take the bottle. I guess is the scroll empty or does it
Yes,
have writing
empty.
on it? Empty. Okay, so I'm literate. Rusk, I am literate, so I will write that sort of question saying, yes, we got caught. We are at Nana Poo-Poo's house in the Mirror of Dead Men. I'm scared of Nana Poo-Poo. Please help. P.S. What about my family? And then I'll put it in the bottle, and I don't know what to do with it.
So
push it back into the mud.
So
I'll try and push it back into the mud.
yeah. So more bubbles, and the bottle kind of sinks and disappears.
Okay, then I'll go in the house.
Okay.
I'll have woken up, in inverted commas, sit up and look around. Do I still have no idea where we are?
Not that you like understand, but you do get a glimpse of a writing on the tombstone that is next to the small grave, but you can't see the writing from here, from where you stand.
I'll get up off the back of the what's the name, and being careful not to step to get too close to the grave. Try and read the name on it.
Okay, so it reads Anna Petronova, dead for all time. I'll write it down for you. Whoops. This is what it says. Anna Petronova, dead for all times. Yeah. Anything else you want to do?
Is there anyone else with me, or has everyone gone in the house?
Guys?
Hello?
All have gone into the house.
Okay.
I'll step into the house.
Okay, so inside you can see Nana Popu. She lights a lantern. The lantern has a black candle inside. And when she lights it, a green flame kind of bursts and lights the interior of the hut with some eerie colors. She sets it, and then she goes to a small stove. On it, you can see a what appears to be a child's tea set. And it's stained with some brownish material. She kind of scraps it, and then she puts a kettle on top of the stove. She lights another green flame just inside the stove and puts the kettle on it. And like in a couple of minutes, water starts to boil. And she says, I'll have tea in a moment. Unfortunately, I don't have too much food to offer you, but I do have some pickled tongues here if you do want to try them. These are very good, actually. And she puts a jar of what appears to be pickled tongues, but these are long and fleshy, and they don't seem to be humanoid, but well, each and its own taste. So
I'm gonna reach into my pack and break out a couple of rations and share them around.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll try a tongue.
Okay.
And I'll say to Nanny Poo-Poo that, is there any spice that you want? Do you have a favorite spice that you don't have? I can give it to you.
Oh, the mirror doesn't have garlic or red pepper. That would be great with the tongues.
Okay, so I'll put my spoon in my magic box if I still have it. Oh God, I better. Do I still have my spoon?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh wow, that would be hard. Probably the first thing I reached for actually when I woke up was my spoon. So yeah, I'll put the spoon in the box and bring out some garlic for her and some red pepper.
Okay. She kind of moves around her small house. It's basically just one room. You're all sitting on her bed. You can see shelves full of like trinkets and tiny things and stuff. You don't see anything like how should I say it? That is like new or something like that. It's maybe the hut is here for ages with this woman living in it. Obviously cleaning is out of the question. You can see needles, you can see a ring of keys, you can see utensils, you can see like spoons and maybe a few jars, like a rag, a blanket made of rags. And what appears to be a scarecrow kind of thrown just below the bed with half of its body missing. And she says, you can rest here for a while, and when you feel strong I can show you how to get to the place you probably seek. If your dreams are to be any indication. And then she says, What really brings you here? Do you actually look for your family in that desolate and old place? It's unlikely that anything is living there. It is a castle. It was once run by a half-elf who was an astronomer, but ever since the mere got bigger and bigger, it touched the walls of that castle and everything crumbled. The half-elf couldn't stand it, so he left. You're not after the dragon, are you?
The dragon? Which dragon?
Well, I just told you. Anna's mother, she was an adventurer. She was seeking to destroy a black dragon.
Oh, a black dragon. No, I don't have anything to do with a black dragon.
She kind of she looks at you and says, "Not a black dragon, eh?"
No. I never met a black dragon before, and I don't plan on it. Although, I guess it could be. I guess it's a mean black dragon if somebody wanted to kill it.
They're all mean, evil to the bone. She looks at Thokk and Devlin and says, "What about you? What are you doing here?"
Basically, I've been hired by these crazy cats. Well, not these crazy cats. The crazy cat that's back at Baldur's Gate, and I seem to have been dropped in this really intense world. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I'm just following the currents of time, man. That's all I see.
She, surprisingly or not, she nods her head in appreciation as you mentioned the currents of time. And Devlin, you have a feeling that you've hit a spot there. You're not sure what in those words made her react this way, but you kind of touched something there.
I feel we've got a connection there. The currents are maybe taking us both through this world.
She says, "I've been traveling those waters for a long time now. I yearn for some rest, but the current keeps pushing me forward."
And you never know which way it's going to take you. It's a real trip. I'm here now. But not long ago, I was just traveling through with a caravan. And it's been a wild ride, man. It really has.
She opens her mouth to say something, but then the kettle kind of whistles as the water boil. And she closes her mouth and says, "Well, tea, anyone?"
Yes, please.
Okay.
So she pours you all tea inside those tiny teacups, which are obviously toys. They are made of wood, and they are not suited to drinking tea, but you do get some drops, hot drops, inside of you, which are surprisingly mellow and tasty. She says, "You can rest here as much as you want. I will take you to the castle when you want me to. It is but a day walk from here, and with me you will avoid most of the Black Tongue tribe. How was the tongue?" And she looks at you, Roscoe.
How was it?
It was sore and slimy at the end. And when she mentions the Black Tongue tribe, and then she asks you how was the tongue, you kind of do the 1+1 and realizes that she just gave you like this swampy creature tongue to eat. A new experience to you, but
I don't like it. Thank you though, but it's not my tastes a little too oh, I don't know what the word is. The texture is it's
So, why are you here? I'll say to her, what current brought you here? And what was your journey?
I believe I was brought here to meet Anna. She was the light of my life. But after she perished, I found it very, very hard to leave. I tried many times, but I always felt that if I do, she will be here alone in this desolate place, and I would not hear any of this. I simply decided to leave and keep her company. Not to leave, sorry. To stay here and keep her company.
That's beautiful. I can really feel the love. Yeah.
Oh, she was smart. She was really smart. She knew how to read. She knew how to fix my clothes. She was singing and dancing, and she didn't care about the mud. Well, not at first, at least, but eventually the fever took her. She was shaking and trembling for days. I tried to find remedy, but I am not proficient in any medical science or other science, and not even the art has touched me. I had to watch her perish, but I kept her warm as much as I could, and when she did die, I buried her here and decided to keep her company for all times.
Where did you find us?
Sorry, what was the question?
Where did you find us?
I found you just a couple of minutes walk from here. I usually travel the fields of the Black Tongues to find food, and sometimes I manage to grab a slab of meat from any hunt that they have made. This time I found you, and she points at Roscoe and she says, he was talking about his parents, about the fact that they are to be found just behind a gap beneath the eye in the sky, and it rang a bell. There is a castle nearby which has a large device made by elves to watch the stars. An eye in the sky. But I don't know of any gap beneath the castle. But if his parents are there, they are probably missing him.
Did you talk about a portal before?
A gap. The elf who lived here left through a portal within the castle. At least this is what the adventurer told me when she went up and searched the dragon. She said that this portal exists and asked me if I knew anything of it. I don't. All I know is rumors, things that people tell me. I never set foot within the castle.
Was there a monk named Leosin who came through here recently? Because I have a friend. His name is Leosin, and he's a monk. And he's a very good man. And I heard that he was heading to the Mirror of Dead Men. So I wonder if you saw him.
She says, even if there are a lot of people traveling in this place, some of them are real flesh and blood, some of them are shadows of their former selves. Sometimes it's hard to tell, you know. But to answer your question, I don't think I ever seen one. Not in flesh and not in ghost.
If I pinch myself, am I flesh or am I a shadow?
You feel flesh, but the whole scene is kind of surreal. You're not sure anymore what's real and not what's not. She says, yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll ask her, did you see anyone moving away from us when you found our bodies?
Oh no, the Black Tongues probably left you here. We're about to devour you. Any noise startles them, they leave their prey, but then they get back to it. And she takes a small, like a book, a worn book, from one of the shelves, and then she says, "I have to put Anna to sleep. It will take me a minute. I usually tell her a story just before bedtime. Please, you can rest here. I will be back in a few minutes."
Can I listen to the story? I like stories.
Yes, you can. She leaves the house, and then she basically stands just above the tombstone, and she opens the book and starts telling this story, which you kind of realize it is a mishmash of an old children's legend of a gypsy who is traveling between worlds and making toys for little kids who are like behaving themselves.
Is the hut up on stilts?
Yep.
Do they actually look like stilts, or do they look like bird legs?
You take a look just underneath the hut, and besides a lot of mud and decay, you don't see any bird legs beneath it.
Okay, just checking.
The area with the mud where I dropped the bottle in before with the message,
Yep.
I guess Roscoe glanced over there. Is there a bottle there yet?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I'll hurry over there and get it and
Okay.
read.
You open it, and there's something very strange with the scroll as you open it. When you open it, you kind of expected a written message, but all you can see is like punched holes that are burned and charred at their end. Like, think about it this way: like someone kind of pressed a cigarette into the parchment, and
You've been redacted.
and when you kind of you kind of try to understand what's going on, then you hold it in a specific way, and you can see like a mangled face staring you through the parchment, like two burning eyes or charred eyes, and like a mouth with a twitch on it, and 3 letters: run.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm going to telepathically communicate that one at a time to Tal, to Thokk, and to Devlin. Run, 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 and then I'm gonna take off.
In which direction?
Oh, I don't know. What's around the hut?
So all you can see is dead trees, puddles, and like straw-like mangled bushes and trees. As I said, the visibility is kind of limited to 100 feet radius. Other than that, it's like a wall of mist.
if everyone else starts to move, then I'm going to do it as well, because it seems the best thing to do at the moment. Everyone else is going, then I'm not staying here.
During the conversation that we had with Nanny Poo Poo, when she was talking about the castle, was there any point where she maybe hinted or pointed or nodded or gave any indication of which direction the castle was in?
Make a wisdom save as you try to recall.
Nope. 8.
So nope.
While this is going on, I'm going to look at the scarecrow that's kind of shoved under the bed.
Yes.
Is it actually a scarecrow, or is it something else?
So you do see that it is a scarecrow. You think by the look of it that it was kind of harvested for parts of its outfit were harvested to patch the blanket and maybe patch Nanny Papu's like rags. How much time do you spend searching it?
I don't know. How much time is she going to let me poke around without getting upset about me being nosy?
So she's outside the hut. She's reading a story to her.
Oh well, I'm gonna just search through the spend 3-5 minutes searching through the scarecrow, and then I'm gonna quickly run through the rest of the cottage, make sure there's nothing overtly creepy about what's going on.
So as you kind of search the scarecrow and your surrounding, you do find a strange thing on the scarecrow. You see that its neck is kind of tied with a hangman's noose on it. The rope is still there, and it's kind of curled just beneath the torso of this thing. So this is one thing that you do find. And around the basically the hut you can find some books, some utensils, maybe a few pouches. If you want to grab something like in a hurry, let me know, and you can roll and I'll tell you what you found. Yeah, we can roll a percentile die. So the rest of you are leaving the hut. Let me just get it straight. Devlin and Paul and Tal, sorry.
Yeah, if everyone else is going, if the majority is going, then I'm going with them, because this place does feel really, really strange.
Okay.
And then you get, a mental call from saying get the heck out. So yeah.
Okay, so as you all leave as quietly as possible, you all see the back of Nanny Poo Poo as she reads that fairy tale or child's tale to Anna, and you make it outside. You, Thokk, is holding a hand mirror, and it is backed with a bronze depiction of a Medusa.
Okay.
Did you take the rope from the...
I took the rope off the scarecrow, yes.
Okay. It feels heavy. Heavier than it should.
Can I untie the hangman's noose?
Yes. You all meet Roscoe just outside the hut, and you take a few steps like to get away from it, and unless you tell me otherwise, in a few minutes time you kind of basically lose yourself within this landscape of mist, mud, and decay.
When we get a couple of minutes away from the hut, I'll explain why. Like, I'll explain that I sent a message with the coin to Captain Durana, and I got a message back, and it was very scary, and it just said run. So she's probably heard of Nanny Poo Poo, and Nanny Poo Poo is super dangerous, and we need to get out of there.
Okay, where is the mirror in relation to Baldur's Gate? Do we know?
It's north of it. Like, it's quite far to the north.
Okay, and do we have any way at all to like determine our, the directions?
You can try and roll a survival check for me.
18.
So with an 18, you get the sense that maybe the sun isn't up because you don't see any signs of it. Maybe it's a sunset or sunrise, you're not sure. But when the sun will go up, you'll probably have a good sense of direction to east, and then you can discern north and south and decide which way you want to go.
Let's find some. If it's evening, let's find some place relatively dry or a tree or something, and to get up out of the water. To get up out of the muck, and take a long rest.
Did you remember? Did she say what direction the castle was in, Thokk? Because I can't remember anything about that. But maybe I think we should go there rather than back to Baldur's Gate.
That would be what, a wisdom check to see if I remember or
Yep.
noticed?
Yes, she did talk about it.
12?
So with a 12, you do kind of remember that she nodded, like, pointed with her chin toward that direction or this one. You think you know where she pointed. And it's like a guess, but maybe it's a good guess.
No, got an idea. The worst case, we can't get any more lost than we are now.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I can't believe we're alive. Are we alive, really? Because she was kind of vague about that.
I don't know, man. This is really tripping.
I pinch Roscoe.
Hey, yeah, let's try that. And I'll pinch him as well.
Do we feel it? Do we feel pain?
So yeah, you do feel pain. But so if a pinch is a good test of being alive, so yeah, no indication that you are dead.
Oh, I have an idea. I can't believe I didn't think of it. Magic spoon. Which way is the castle with the eye in the sky?
So you talk to your spoon, and then mist kind of swirls around you, and you can see faces. These are faces of people you haven't seen in a while. Your lost tribesmen or clansmen. You, Paul, Tal, Devlin, and Thokk, you don't see anything. You basically see Roscoe kind of talking to his spoon again. But you, Roscoe, are basically attacked by those shadows who scream at you, pointing to different directions, screaming advice. Some of them scream run, some of them scream come, some of them scream please don't, some of them scream you have to, and then it's all gone.
Do we all see this?
No,
Or is
no, all you saw is Roscoe talking to his spoon.
I guess I sort of he just drops to his knees and he covers his head with his hands, and he just starts kind of like rocking back and forth and saying like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts.
I'll step over to him.
How large is this spoon?
It is a spoon.
Halfling size of a wooden spoon. So a normal wooden cooking spoon, but like smaller.
So like 6-8 inches?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Hey man, are you alright? It's just a spoon.
All the shadows, they're around me. They're shouting. They're all saying something different. The spoon. That wasn't a good idea.
I'll look around. I'm looking for spirits.
So
I'm not seeing any, I guess.
make a perception check.
I want to try something with Roscoe's permission.
Devlin, you don't see anything special around.
I'm not rolling well today. I'm really not.
Say, Roscoe,
Thokk?
and were you asking your spoon for directions?
I did, but it was. I got a lot of answers, and they were. Yeah, it was really bad.
Is the spoon magic in some way?
Yes, it is, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it can do.
Oh wow, man, that's heavy. I'll sort of poke at the spoon a little bit and see whether it reacts.
Don't touch it!
Okay, man.
Could I borrow your spoon for a minute? Actually, yeah, about a minute.
What do you want to do with it?
Well, I know a trick to figure out what magic items do.
Oh wow. That's cool.
You promise you're going to give it back no matter what?
You can actually hold on to it while I do it.
Okay.
Can I still not touch it? Because this sounds
Yeah.
really cool.
Yep, and I'm going to cast Identify as a ritual.
Okay. So you are sitting down or standing up, depends how you want to do it. And Roscoe, you see Thokk whispers all kinds of strange words, using gestures and movements to kind of discern what the spoon is all about. Thokk, you want to describe what's going on? What are you doing exactly during the ritual? Thokk?
I just reach out and touch the spoon and mutter a quiet incantation with a hand pass.
Okay.
And
so as you do, you all become aware of those faces in the dark. They swirl around you, voicing like a million words and sentences. Some of them shriek at you, some of them gesture as if they want you to come closer. Some of them are beckoning to you to simply come to them. Some shouted you to stay clear and not take any further step. Thokk, you believe this item it's like a focus for a place far away from here. You're not sure if it's physically far or spiritually far, but in a way it is a compass to the world of the dead.
Whoa.
You're not sure.
interesting.
You're not sure if it's something, if it was created this way, if it was like embedded with this power, but it is sort of a communication device slash a compass slash a way to sense the world of the dead.
Interesting. Roscoe, you willing to try one more experiment?
Maybe.
Do you have a pot?
No, I don't have a pot with me. I don't think.
Or a bowl?
I have a mess kit, so I have like a saucepan.
Is
Does
is
saucepan work?
would the pan be large enough to set the spoon in and not have it touch the sides?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to fill the saucepan with water and float the wooden spoon on it and see what happens.
So as you put the spoon inside this bowl, the water starts to boil, and the spoon kind of dances around in the water. You all are hunched in to look at it, and then each of you sees something within the water. Let's start with Thokk. Thokk, you see Talis. She is bound and tied, and a dark black half dragon uses its fingernails to wound her. She screams, and you can see her lips moving, but you can see her eyes kind of glinting with inner strength. You are sure she will not break easily, but she is under a lot of pain.
Do I get a sense of where's like a direction that she is from where I am now?
So as you kind of focus on that thought, the spoon swirls to one side. Roscoe, you can see a dark place, a dark tower, with its ceiling covered with what appears to be bats. It's dark, it's very foreboding. One of the bats opens its wings, and then you kind of get startled away from that vision with only one voice, the voice of your mother, saying, "Come to me."
Where are you? I'm trying to come to you.
The spoon sways to yet another direction other than what Thokk was kind of forcing it to move. Paul, you see people fight in an immense battle. You can see creatures that are half dragons, half fiends emerge from a large, like burning well inside the earth. They erupt, and you can see armies of men, elves, and dwarves kind of surrounding that. And then a five-headed creature kind of bursting from that well, focusing its heads on you, and then you are startled from that vision. The needle points to yet a third direction. Devlin, you see a mighty fortress flying above the ground with a crown kind of propelling it. It's like it's used to fuel its magical powers that allow it to float and to move. And you can see a fey-like creature, a delicate elven princess, bound to that crown, and shrieks as power is drawn from her to fuel that fortress that flies up. And then the needle sways to yet a fourth direction. When all those visions disappear, the needle is within those boiling water who suddenly are dead set and silent, and Roscoe, you get a clear point as the spoon kind of turns decisively and showing you the way to your mother.
Whoa.
And this is where we'll end the session today.
Oh, wow. That was a good experiment, Thokk.
Yeah, well done.
Yep. Okay, so I will let you think about what you saw. And what do you think, guys, Thokk should get for his brilliant idea?
Probably an inspiration point would be a good one. Is it an inspiration point? Sorry.
Or just a legendary item for we're done.
Okay, so Thokk, let me think of something. But in the meantime, yes, you can get an inspiration point. It was a good call.
Okay, so that would be, I guess, 2 inspiration points I've got pending then, huh?
Oh, okay. And yeah, this is it. We'll meet again next week and figure it out. Let's see what's going on.
Okay. Does anyone know what's going on?
We're lost in a swamp called the Mirror of the Dead, and we're probably going to join them.
Oh, okay, Mr. Pessimist.
I would like my new character sheet now.
I'm not a pessimist. I'm I'm optimistically realistic.
Wow, what would your answer be if you were pessimistic about the situation? We're all zombies, I think.
Well, undead's better than dead.
We have a compass now, so there's hope.
Yeah. We've got a couple of places to check out.
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah,
guys.
but Roscoe's spoon, so he gets first dibs.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. Yeah, that's cool. This is all a trick, man. This is all. Yeah.
I had no idea that my spoon was like that. I mean, my mother used to make soup with it, and when I found out she was gone, I just took it to remember her. I didn't know it could do anything at all except cook.
Maybe it does it because you want it to.
Am I the... Go ahead. I was gonna ask.
I was just about to say, you are obviously one with the spoon. You and the spoon are intrinsically linked through the waters of time.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, you all touched interesting points. Yeah, Paul, you want to say something?
So, in our group, am I the only one who's very oblivious to magical stuff?
Probably, because
I'm a monk,
think
so I can't cast any spells or anything. I'm kind of oblivious, I think, too.
I know about certain things, but I'm a warlock, so it's sort of very specialised in what my character can do.
Yeah.
His arcane is pretty terrible. It's -1, I think. So, in terms of knowing magic, God knows he doesn't know anything about it.
I know as much as a battle bard would know.
Yeah, each in his own ups and downs and skills. Guys, I really need to wrap this up. So I'll see you next week. And if you have any questions or things you want to say before the next session, simply chat and I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. And yes, let's see what happens next session.
Okay.
No worries.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And you.